Today's 637 day that I'm here to share lessons I learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I woke up and for some reason I had three ideas, three thoughts in my mind. I don't know why. Most time I do not have as many ideas and thoughts in just early morning, but those three ideas was about the standards, activities, and one of my favorite quotes. So let's start from my favorite quote. And one of my favorite quotes that really inspires me every single time when I read is Martin Luther King Jr. quote. And the quote is, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." I always have goosebumps when I read that quote because it just really inspires me. That means that it doesn't matter what happens in your life. You're able to choose to keep moving forward. Because at the end of the day, it's a choice to keep moving forward. It doesn't matter how little. It doesn't matter how little you. What matters is just moving towards your goals, towards your aspirations, towards your purpose. Because I will share why is that important. So why is it important to crawl forward? Because it's easier to move from 1 to 20 than from 0 to 1. I will let to sink that in. It's easier to move from 1 to 20 than from 0 to 1. So that means if you stop fully, it will be very hard to start. But if you're still crawling forward, moving little by little, and inching forward, it will be much easier to start walking, start running, and start flying. But if you don't move and you just potentially move to a different direction or you fully stop, it will be very, 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 very hard to start. Exactly like to lift like a rocket. It's very hard to lift the rocket. After you need to have a lot of intensity. And when you lift the rocket out of the ground, of course, then you don't need as much energy. You are able to use some energy consistently, and of course it will keep moving forward. And that's exactly this with crawling. So now I would love to share why I was thinking about standards and activity. So now when in life there is a lot of things that you are able to control and a lot of things that you're not able to control. So that means a lot of circumstances in your life, external things, are not able, it doesn't allow you to really focus on some things. Life is life. And you need to be okay with that. So that means you need to be self-aware and ask, okay, so based on my station where I am now, what kind of standards of activity I need to implement now? So it could be a lot of different activities. For example, you are a business owner or a salesperson and you need to connect with 20 customers a day. So that means that let's say that just for a quick example, like if you are flying in your business and you are on growth, that means that you are doing 20 reach outs a day. If you are running, you do 10 reach outs a day. If you are walking, you do 5 reach outs a day. And if you're crawling forward, you do 1 reach out a day. Now, it seems that 1 reach out is nothing. It's just 1 reach out. So it will not change anything. It changes a lot. Because when you crawling forward in 6 months, you're able to achieve extraordinary results. But if you stop, there is no positive emotions, there is no change, no progress at all. Because imagine half a year, how many days it is? It is 180 days. So that means if you do 180 reach outs to customers, you potentially could have, like if you have 10 customers from 100 reach outs, potentially have 10 customers from 100 and then 8 from other. So that means 18 customers in half a year. That's extraordinary success. Now, if you don't do anything, that means you don't have any of those at all. So that's why I said it's very, very important to keep pushing forward. For example, if you do not have a job and you're looking for a job, exactly the same thing. If you do 1 reach out a day, that means you will have 180 applications in a half a year. It's crazy how much you're able to achieve with crawling forward, one at a time, one a day. And of course, if you do not like the standards like crawling, walking, running, and flying, maybe you're able to create your own standards. Because a lot of times people have 2 standards. One is I'm doing amazing, I'm doing great, I'm on the top of the world, and the other one is I'm doing nothing, I'm not worthy, I have a lot of self-doubts. Now when you have 4 standards, you're able to align yourself. So, okay, what kind of season I am in? How much other things is I need to take care of? And now when you understand and you're realistic about your goals, about your station, you're able to say, okay, I'm not able to fly at the moment. And I'm able to allocate activity that based on running, based on walking. So that means you can change those standards. It's up to you. You can say that, okay, like crawling is good, walking is great, then running is amazing, and flying is extraordinary. So that means you're able to create your standards. Say, okay, how many activities you will do based on that standard. And now, when you create that standard and you create the activity based on that standard, what is important? Then you be very self-reflective. You need to reflect on where you're at. And the most important part is you need to ask, okay, if I'm now, let's say that I'm at walking stage, but I would love to improve when I start running. So what I could do today to improve my circumstances, to improve my situation, to improve everything around me, that I could increase my activity and can start working as a runner, not as a walker. Because life will send a lot of curveballs to you. And it's okay, sometimes you will be flying, and sometimes because adversity will push on you and there's a lot of things will happen that you didn't plan. And because of those unplanned things, you will need to go backwards for a bit. But that's okay. That's okay, because the most important part of life is that you need to be resilient enough to say that, oh, I'm okay to going backwards, that I could move forward afterwards. It's better to move backwards than stop. Because a lot of times when people see that they are going backwards, what they do, they are afraid and they said, oh, and they lift their hands and, okay, I'm giving up. I don't want to go backwards, I'm giving up. No, it is not the best way to do things. Say, okay, I'm going backwards for this season, for this winter, for this rain, that I could go forward with a much better strength. Because a lot of adversity, what it does builds your character. That means with that better character, with more experience, with more wisdom, with more vision for yourself, the better strength, you will be able to move with the flying, and it will able to achieve much more than before. The most important part, as I said, that is such a powerful lesson that Martin Luther King Jr. said, it doesn't matter if you crawl. The most important part is still keep moving forward. And you need to measure yourself and look into your mirror and say that how many times you quit. Quit from crawling. Not just quitting in general, but quit from crawling. How many times you said that, no, I will not do just little. It doesn't matter how little. Just say, what thing I could do forever. Because there is difference between sprinting and doing infinite game. Simon Sinek speaks that there's a finite game and an infinite game. And if you really want to succeed in life, you need to say, how long I could do that. And if I'm able to do this activity forever, that means you're able to crawl through whatever you want to achieve. Because the most important things in life is when you do day by day, not what you're able to do one day and then never do it again. So evaluate yourself and really start thinking about your standards. Align yourself with your standard. Understand your situation very well, because sometimes people have burnout because they don't understand that their circumstances doesn't allow them to perform at their best. So that means that sometimes you need to allocate a little bit more time to the things that could take care of all the urgencies that's really, really important to take care of, and then go back with more energy and start flying in the business, in a career, in a family, in health. It doesn't matter what it is, but you're able to keep moving forward and then elevate your energy and really succeed in life. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.